Saints fans, another expected episode of Saints TV podcast. I travelled down the highway to play Geelong at GMHBA Stadium, the biggest bumhole stadium in the whole competition. No one can play there except for the Cats, as proven on Saturday night, and we just didn't show up. We didn't show up to the game. Played a quarter and a half of good footy and packed it up and thought that'll be enough, and surely enough, the Cats get the job done by a fair amount. So it's been a very disinteresting week in terms of Saints footy, but a very exciting week at Saints TV.
Here we go.
Matty Marsh, Daddy Marsh. We welcome into the world baby Matilda, so congratulations, mate. That has just made the loss almost insignificant compared to how proud we are of you and Aditi for having a lovely firstborn, and she looks absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to meet her. Please tell us a bit about her. Tell us a bit about how it all went down.
Oh, yip, lads and listeners. Thank you, Joyce. That was lovely words, mate. Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys. And a lot of people listening, I feel sorry
what we need, more pity.
Yeah, because dead set, like we went in and had to have a bit of an unplanned C-section. Mama and Bubba absolutely fine. It all went really well, and when the doctor handed over little Matilda Marla over the curtain to Aditi and I, there was this feeling of just. You can't describe it. It's like a mixture of just relief, ecstasy, it just all these good, intense feelings to what I reckon it would be like if we were to win a flag. So whatever may come, it's kind of like Cozzy in his last game where he had the goal, the goal review.
Yeah.
He's like, I still got my celebration. I know what that feeling. No one can take that feeling away from me. So whatever happens with our fucking shit football club, I've got a very special feeling in my bones. So, but yeah, it's awesome fun. It's unfortunately, she's already thinking about switching clubs. She's thrown it in.
She's already said, Dad, I want a cat.
Yeah, that's it. I'm only doing it because I love you, Tilly. But we've got ourselves a new sainter, very happy, healthy, and I'm sure she'll be wise. But
very nice.
I'm surprised you boys had me back on after Uncle Dino.
Got
a good reception, didn't he?
Yeah. He did. Got a little too good a reception. I had a few messages from mates and that saying, next time you go on leave, just make sure you kind of set yourself up a little bit better with a not so great locum.
Because he did steam through, didn't he?
He did, and it was really nice listening. So I'm glad you guys and the listeners more broadly got to sort of hear how Dino goes about it, because he's my favourite person to chat Saints footy. No offence, boys.
I was going to say, same here. Yeah, you've lost the spot. You and Jakey have lost the spot.
About that. But yeah, Jakey boy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's compared to your last week, my week's not been as good. Looking to have a kid though, because no premiership. Soon,
they seem to be a bit more easily attainable.
Yeah. You can just do it whenever. Imagine just picking a premiership out of the sky. It would be wonderful.
Yeah. Nice stalk coming down with a premiership in a cradle.
Honestly, brings a tear to my eye. I'm not even kidding. But yeah, to the game. There was a game actually Saturday night, or you can call it that. It was great to be at the Bentley Social.
Yeah, so again, indulge me. I had FOMO again. Tell us about it.
Look, the atmosphere, despite the loss, I thought was fantastic.
Second to none.
Yeah. The moment Dan Butler kicked that goal and we were 4 points down and on a bit of a roll, it got so loud, didn't it, Joyce?
It was huge.
We lost it. It was just amazing to be there. Family was there. It was good vibes. I think I had a few too many wines, so the loss didn't really sink in until late Sunday night. So it's usually I'm upset on the night of the loss, and then I take a few days, get on the potty, and then I'm feeling good again. And I'm like, next game, better. This time, I was I was smiling and taking photos of the final siren, not caring about the result.
I was going to say, I saw your messages in the podcast thread after the game. Like, anyone would have thought we won by 10 goals.
Yeah. And then, since then, it's basically every day I've gradually just gotten a bit more of a hit of reality. And you guys would have seen it in the chat today. I was particularly negative.
Pretty sour.
So, that's where I'm at right now. So
Fair enough.
I was going to say, it's funny that you spoke of Cozzy and the moment that he had hitting the post but still getting paid the goal, because I actually ran into Cozzy today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I went down to RSEA Park, and that cues me for this little number here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got the guitar.
Yes.
I've got the show bag.
I actually went down to RSEA Park today to the Saints locker room, and they've got a great range of stuff in there, so make sure you get down. You get a discount if you're a member.
Yep.
But we thought what would be ultimately fitting for us at the
no
Saints
pun
TV.
intended.
Ultimately fitting, if it does fit, is to present you with this little number
look at
here.
that beautiful thing.
So
show the cameras.
Show the cameras. Here we go.
That's amazing,
There we are.
isn't it?
And
That's unreal.
got the number one on it for you.
Number one.
For your firstborn.
Jack
So
Loney
that
fits in.
is from the Saints TV boys.
Oh, that's
Team
too
Matilda.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
thank
go,
you.
mate.
Thank you so much, boys.
That's all right.
And also, I'm just going to take this one off.
Yeah.
just politely.
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
replace that for the
We're
episode.
going to replace this one. We're going to
Ooh.
put that on hold for a second.
I'm getting all the prezzies.
You are.
We're going to congratulate you with one of these, mate.
Oh, that's.
So-
Oh,
Hopefully you don't
jeez.
already have it.
No, I
You
don't.
already have one of these.
No, I don't. But my big buff head. That's lovely. A nice
it's got the adjustable. So.
Moorabbin oval hat. That's,
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I saw, as soon as I saw it in the Saints locker room, I was like, Jake, do you know if Marshy has one of these? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I haven't seen him wear it. And I was like, you know what? This is for him.
Yeah.
Like this is spot on. So
Oh, you've got me on a night where the sleep is running very. It's in short supply at the
Yeah.
moment, so I'm a little bit emotional. That is so nice, guys.
No,
So
that's all
thank
right.
you very
I was
much.
thinking-
Mate.
as soon as I saw the hat, I was like, as a father, you enter your cap era well and
yeah.
It's all
truly.
right, yeah.
It's all right.
Yep.
Yeah, you enter the cap
can
era
even-
well and truly.
Tilt it during the show if you want to have a bit of a 15
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
Nah,
bit of
during
kid.
junk mail. Just,
Yeah, if I want to get serious, all right, boys.
Sometimes with kids, you don't have time to do your hair. That's a simple fact, and I mean,
well, just in general. Why do you
Just
think
in
I'm wearing the
general.
beanie?
yeah.
First time
so
ever.
I think you can loosen it a bit more if you need to.
Go the back to front.
Yeah, that's gold. Thank you so much,
No,
boys.
it's okay.
I'll be sure to get a snapper tilly in a top. That's
Absolutely.
That's gold.
And we will try and get the name printed on it for you.
Yeah, we
as well.
tried,
That's,
but,
we tried today. They didn't have the facilities to do so.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll get in contact with someone from the club and we can organise that for you as well. And we'll come
so
and pick it
cute.
up. Nah,
So
of course,
cute.
mate. So congratulations from everyone at Saints TV, hosts, fans, listeners. We're all there for you. So
Yeah.
well
Awesome.
done.
Thank you very much.
Now.
There was a game.
Yeah, there was a game. I don't even want to talk about it. I just
Yeah,
want
can
to
we
keep
just talk
talking about
about
Matilda, to be honest.
What were your thoughts on the game, you reckon?
Yeah. Oh, thoughts on the game. It's very typical of us to come out in a late round. Round 19 to 21 with just the loss that should put you out completely. And it's happened to us a lot of times before, and it's like, geez, we need to win the last 3 games to get into finals, and it just doesn't happen. It reminds me, 2016, 2017.
Even last year, we should have.
Even
We
last
played
year.
Port at Marvel.
Yeah,
And we
and we
lost
got
that.
done.
Yep.
Yeah, so it just feels like history's repeating itself, and it feels uncomfortable. It feels grim,
Yeah.
and more now than ever, after a season more or less like the previous one, it has me questioning what we're actually trying to achieve on field.
Yeah.
And I brought it up last week and said, are we going for a Melbourne sort of structure and whatnot? I have a feeling that worked for last year and we've missed the train already, because the pattern I'm seeing from football is the highest score wins.
Yeah.
So Collingwood beating Melbourne at their own game.
Shootout.
It was a shootout, and Collingwood was the highest scorer. It was a high-scoring game, even if it was wet. Not the best conditions. Same with Geelong. They were just trying to find every avenue possible to goal.
Yeah.
As soon as they got that ball to centre half forward, they didn't look stressed at all.
No.
They were like, okay, well, on GMHBA, they made the late switch. So, you Usually teams make an early switch on GMHBA and try and switch the ball out of defence. If you do that, you're only getting stuck.
Yeah.
They were switching it across half forward, and that really did us in. We didn't know how to set up for that.
The defence just kept shifting because their forwards were always moving.
Yeah,
the
that's
space
exactly
they were
right.
in. I was so jealous watching that.
Yeah, and you saw that, like, you uploaded the heat map today.
Yeah.
And we're just playing safe footy down the wing. And Geelong were just hogging that corridor up, and very rarely did they take the wings to get into goal. So it was really frustrating footy to watch. I mean, it was nice that we're at the Bentley Social and all, but that was probably the worst performance, I think, from the coaching box and the players that I've seen, because the players had their tails up in the first couple of quarters, and then it's your job as the coaches to kind of not only try and keep that momentum going, but try and fix a few issues as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, we tried something different. We tried to put Battle forward and send, you know, bloody Cooper Sharma was all over the ground. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
It was a hard one to follow where he was actually playing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So if we're lost, he's lost.
Yeah.
You know, like, he doesn't have a set position. But there was just... very rarely was there a move made that made you go, oh, shit, yeah, that'll be the ticket. That'll be the ticket. Why do we need to refer to those moves if we haven't tried a different game plan? A different way of attacking the goal face, a different way of getting the ball inside 50. You're just putting different players everywhere with the same game plan.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I'm really disappointed now. Like, I'm beyond the point of anger. I'm just disappointed again. Like, it's the standard. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. But I really am. I'm really disappointed in this football club and what it's served up to its fans. And
Well, our confidence and skill execution drop off is so alarming.
yeah,
We may as well be called the St Kilda Candles, because all we do is consistently burn each other. Because, like, who was it? Was it Membry running in and he had two people over the top? It was the most blatant.
There was a few, yeah.
We're like running into an open forward 50, and the end option just kicks it to whoever was down there. Sorry, my brain is not working at the
that's all
minute.
right.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But the Geelong player, I think it was Stewart, just marked it.
yeah.
The kick actually went to his advantage. Yeah, that's right. You had Butler just running by himself.
Yeah. There was another one with Battle leading towards goal, and then the kick was as if he was leading to the forward 50, the face of the 50.
Yeah.
And you could tell Battle wanted it out the back.
Yeah.
And they've just dropped it short. Defender's there.
Yeah.
Chest mark, and Battle's like,
Oh,
what
we
you
are
doing, mate?
the stupidest team in the AFL right
Yeah.
now. Even North Melbourne and
That's-
West Coast have a more functioning forward line than we do.
Yeah, that's my next point. I watched a lot of footy yesterday.
Yeah.
Just on the couch, lying down, having to snooze, recovering from Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing the way, like, North lost, but seeing the excitement, the verve, the way they move that footy, some of the, like, they were tricky kicks for a St Kilda player's point of view. Mm-hmm. But they were hitting them on 45, 30-degree angles. They were hitting them... And I'm like, I don't even back our boys to hit some of those targets.
Yeah.
No.
And then you see Sydney play the way they did. Like, seeing the intensity of Collingwood on the Friday night.
Yeah. That got me so
Maynard,
jealous.
some of the hits he puts on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so jealous of so many teams now. Not just the top teams, though. Some of the bottom teams, I'm actually like, they're on the right path.
You can see where they wanna go with their
You can see
team.
where they want to go.
Yeah.
I don't see where we want to go exactly.
I saw where we wanted to go in 2020.
Yeah.
And then we got caught out in 2021. And I don't believe that in 2021 it was game plan as much as mental fatigue. We all said it last year. Our players don't look there. You know, we don't look... I don't think the game plan improved in the facet of defensive running. I think we've done that probably not even better this year from our midfielders, but our defence has gotten better.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we're not getting done like we were last year, is because our defence has gotten better, because we've got a defensive coach in who knows what he's fucking doing.
It's funny. The one area of our field where we've got a coach that was a very good defender in his own right, has come from a winning culture, all Australian, premiership player.
Yeah.
has the knowledge, brings it to the club, and lo and behold, our defence is actually the most improved area on the ground.
Yeah.
And most of our defenders, I would say, are our most improved players.
Yeah.
But then you look at the mids and the forwards,
Well-
and you're like, the coaches don't match up in those areas.
Well, Ben McGlynn,
McGlynn's finishing up.
Yeah.
He's been given the ASS.
And
it
he
looks.
was assistant midfield and forward.
Yeah. So I don't know if I brought it up just in the inbox or on the podcast last week, but there's two things that can happen when you sign on a coach that's had no success. You can sign them on and completely sweep the rug under him and get rid of all the assistant coaches and bring in a raft of new assistants to help him on his way. Or you can get ready for uphill skiing. You know, no one fucking enjoys that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either going to be a revelation over the off-season in terms of who we get to the club,
Yeah.
or it's going to be a slippery slope for the next couple of years.
We just don't. We don't look happy.
No.
You look at Ratton, and he's looked so stressed all year.
Yeah.
The poor bloke. He looks like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And on field, where there's just the connectivity that we're like, shit. 2020 Saints, like that was the one real big positive that we'd sort of gelled as a group, and then we felt when we 21 we went away from that.
Yeah.
And one thing that stood out for me from this game was I saw the socials that the players all drove down in separate cars. Like, who
they
did
had
you
their
drive
buddies.
down with? And
Yeah.
I don't know what other teams from Melbourne do when they go to Geelong, but I would have thought that
It's the bus.
that's
Team
the
bus.
team bus.
That's the bus from the heartland of Moorabbin.
Absolutely.
Get your head in the game before you're in the game.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Again, you're having those little, what do you call them? The clicks or whatever?
Yeah.
You're having,
Yeah.
15 little clicks
Yeah.
driving to Geelong. You're like, you're going to have one.
That's exactly right. And we played so disconnected. And get the bus. And, because we did it again, sort of in the hub. We're getting a bus to the game. So it just would have been a nice little throwback. And Ratton, one of the things that was big for him was to sort of try these quirky or, just bring in a little bit of that old school mentality to the program, keep it fresh. Missed opportunity.
I'll be really upset if this is the case, but do you think they sent them down in individual cars just for that content? Do you think the content person thought that's a great idea? Or do you think they just happened to take photos of every single car?
Oh, it's a content
That's
idea.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Game day stuff should never be content driven. It should be whatever's best to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the content comes off a good result.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're the opposite. We're like, all right, let's get some good content. It may affect the players' preparation on the day, but hey, we get a few likes on Facebook. It's like, just get the win. You don't even have to post at all. We just want to win.
Yeah.
That's all we care about.
Get on the bus.
Get on the bus.
Just get on the bus.
Stay focused. Rats
Can we not
talk-
afford buses?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
And if they were going to, all right, if I was running this little exercise, I would have pulled the names out of the hats, going, okay.
Yeah, random.
So you break up
Yeah.
because you had your Jimmy, Webster, and Membry.
They're best mates.
Oh, they're best mates.
Windy and Owens together driving.
Yeah.
Have a senior boy in there with them.
Exactly
Have
right.
Steely with Windy for the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prep him for a big night. Because at that point, Danger was playing. We didn't know
Yeah.
he didn't play. And that also, we'll talk about it, but that also makes the loss a bit worse.
Yeah.
It
But
really
they
did.
had key players out, and it didn't look like it affected them at all.
No, they were laughing
They
in
were
the
still
stands.
they were laughing in the stands.
Yeah. Jeremy Cameron was making faces at the
Isaac
camera.
Smith was laughing anytime he got the footy. He's like, this is easy.
Yeah.
How
That's all
fucking
they thought.
simple is this?
That's what footy teams. That's not just Geelong though.
No.
Geelong are arrogant enough because they're good that they
Yeah.
can laugh and get
Yeah.
away with it.
Because even Isaac Smith at the half time when they were coming off, and he was speaking on the ground, and even in that second quarter, he's like, I feel like we outplayed them in that this quarter,
Yeah.
not the half, but that quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on, we outscored
forward.
you,
Yeah.
and it's like we missed a few opportunities. Like,
Oh, we know he's
didn't
nothing
really.
short of arrogant anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
always been that way. I remember that smirk he gave when he lost the qualifying final off his own boot.
Oh yeah.
True.
Against Geelong, ironically. He looked over at Sam Mitchell and went, yeah, like I've got this, and then he missed. So,
But sometimes that's all right.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes he backs himself, and I don't think we have many players that back themselves.
oh, no way.
You know?
No way. But
And
Yeah.
the leadership. So you had Dukes give away that stupid 50.
Oh,
You had Membry have his worst game for the Saints.
Yeah,
give
so
away
what-
that really
Refresh
bad.
me, what was that 54? I can't.
He bumped him like after he kicked the ball.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a late bump.
You reckon Membry's worst game?
I
I thought
think
he had 2 goals, 17 disposals, and 9 marks. I actually thought
I was going
going
to say, he was pretty good.
I gave him pretty good ratings in the player ratings, but maybe
I just felt a lot of his touches just weren't.
he was slow.
It was slow, and that it just wasn't getting us onto a path of playing an attacking brand of football.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe I'm just a little bit jaded by that that pass what I was talking about before,
Oh,
where
yeah.
and that just summed up our game. We
Yeah.
just don't have. I don't know. We're just not making smart decisions on field, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to make those decisions. They're obvious ones.
I was going to say, there was some obvious things on the field that should have been even more obvious off the field, and we let it run.
The boundary handballs.
Oh, there was the boundary
We called that
handballs.
so many times.
Yeah, there was the boundary handballs, but just in terms of players, who do you reckon was the most damaging player for Geelong?
Well, I
on
know who
Saturday
you're going
night?
to say.
You know who I'm going to say because you were sitting with me. But this
Yeah.
bloke got the ball out the back 25
Tui.
times.
No.
Not Tui. Tui was damaging in his own right.
Yeah.
Midfield?
But again, this bloke
mid.
also played on the wing. So our wingers at the moment are just letting the other wingers do what they want.
And he's a
Especially if
player
they're
that-
bigger.
He's a player that's generally not been that good for them this year.
Oh, well, he hasn't
kind
been
of
around
on-
because he's
he's been out.
in and out of the team. And
Who is it?
it's Menegola.
Oh yeah.
He was fucking everywhere.
He was danger on the night.
He
Yeah.
was.
He channeled in a danger.
Yeah, but he was just standing out the back and getting fucking cheap handballs.
Yeah.
How can you be so oblivious as coaching staff not to go, okay, this bloke's just sitting out the back, he's getting every single handball received from stoppage and he's hitting targets and he's big. Fuck, we might need to put someone on him.
Yeah.
All right, Machito. All right, Windhager. There's your next target. We've got the boys that can get in and under and get the ball for us. They need to fucking lift. But what you need to do now is go to this bloke and make sure he doesn't get a touch. Because if you start to annoy him, he will get frustrated and not want to go near it. Or he will give away silly free kicks because he thinks he's that good. And it was just so... It gave me such a headache seeing it every single time that he got the ball. I'm like, Rats, I get that you're an offensive coach. I get that, like, you came to this team wanting to fix up the skill and fix up the scoring because we were such a low-scoring team. You did that in 2020. You're not achieving it now, but you're also not achieving just simple coaching efforts.
Yeah.
You're in the box. Why is this not being taken care of? It's not like it's not hard to see on the ground, but it's harder than it is to see in the freaking coach's box.
Does Rats ever get on the phone? Because I know it's really hard to see. From,
Yeah,
but,
I don't-
but
I'm not
I never
sure.
see
They
him
don't
on the
show
phone.
much
Yeah.
footage of it.
They don't. But you always see the other coaches on the phones.
Yeah, I'm
But yeah.
not sure. But that one just did my head in, and that's why I'm really, really, really disappointed in this game, is because there were so many obvious little things that you could have prevented that you were too arrogant or
Stubborn.
to do. You know, I think stubborn's a good way to look at it.
Well, that's what Richo was too.
Yeah,
scarily,
Richo was
so
stubborn.
We don't want to be having the same traits.
That's exactly
in coaches.
right. Anyone would have Hawthorn would have put Finn McGuinness to him.
Yeah.
Straight away. They would have been like, okay, yeah, well, old mate isn't going to have much damage because we're going to put, like, say, who was Windhager going with in the middle?
Yeah.
You know, a Guthrie or something like
Atkins,
that.
maybe?
An Atkins. He was going head-to-head with Atkins. It's all right. All right.
Guthrie.
Guthrie, yeah. Okay, well, Steely, you're going to go head-to-head with Guthrie because you're going to beat him in that battle every single time. Crouchy, you're going to go on to Atkins because he's, you know, a physical player and you're our best tackler this year. One of the best tacklers in the AFL this year. So you're just going to get him. You're going to show him. You're going to impose yourself on this contest. Rowan Marshall was winning the ruck
Yeah, he was
all
killing it.
game,
Yeah, he played
He
well.
was a great
but
great
to
player.
no avail.
Yeah.
To no help from his midfielders. To know, yeah, I'm here, mate, put it on me. You know, there was no coherence about it. There was no gelling. There was no glue. There was no talk. It was just a team that didn't want to play finals. There was 10 blokes in that Geelong squad that might miss out because teams are coming back together and players are coming back from injury.
Well,
they weren't playing like they wanted to fucking miss finals. They were playing like, I want my spot in this finals team.
Alarm bells went off for me when all these late outs like the Danger and Selwood and whoever else that just weren't playing. You know, I almost rather them play because the blokes that are coming in for exactly what you just said, Joyce, is this is our chance to play, you know, deep into September.
Yeah. And who's this fucking Max Holmes kid?
Yeah,
he took over Dangerfield's role.
He torched us. He kicked a good goal too.
He kicked that goal from outside. He absolutely torched us. I don't get it how these players can suddenly come up against us and be damaging.
And like Steele had 20.
He's 19.
How many did he have?
He had 25. He had 24 touches and kicked a goal.
Yeah.
I just don't get where these players come from. You know? Well, you know what? I fucking do. They come from a good system where it takes desperate football to stay in a side. He's 19 years of age and he's a big-bodied kid, but you hit him once and he doesn't want to go near it.
It's also the messaging too, though, of what the coaches at the clubs tell these players. Like Max Holmes, say he plays for Geelong on the weekend and he plays that game, and then next weekend, this Friday night, just say you could pluck him and put him in a Saints Guernsey and Rats tells him what to do on the Friday night. You reckon you're going to see the same player? That's you know what I mean? It's bigger than just getting the right player, because it's the right messaging, it's the right structure, it's the people around you. There's so many outside influences, and we're just not getting it.
Rats tried to send the message a couple of weeks ago. If you're not up to scratch, you're going to get dropped.
If Kingy was playing in that Geelong forward line with Hawkins moving around and leading, how many more goals would he have on his tally?
I would say.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree with you there. But Rats said it. If you're not performing, you're going to go out.
Yeah, but it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It
The
doesn't
only
ring
player
true,
that's been
and
dropped is Zach Jones.
It's an empty threat. Because if that was the threat, then you're dropping a lot of players out of this side right now. You're giving Kingy a rest in the twos.
100%. He would have been dropped weeks ago.
He would have been dropped weeks ago. But you can't drop him because he's under your instruction.
He's number 12.
And that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying they're all under this instruction. And as long as you do the right thing by the coach, you stay in the team.
But then the coach has to be under pressure.
But the coach is under no pressure.
That's the thing.
Yeah. But also,
street.
they're asking these players to do something. They're doing it. It's not coming off. You can't drop them for asking what you...
That's the thing, though. Rats, you're basically saying it's not the player's fault as much as the coach's.
Yes.
But when you see Rats in his presser and what he says, it's as if he's saying that players didn't execute what he wanted. So you're like...
Okay, then drop them.
But you're saying they are, and it's not coming off, and then he's saying, but they're not doing the right thing, and it's not coming off. So someone, let's just say you're both stuffing up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you're messaging shit, your game plan's dated, and the players aren't executing up to the standard.
I really would have loved for a reporter in the presser to go, last week you were saying that, you know, everyone was coming at the Saints with a glass... I don't know.
Half full?
Half empty.
Half empty, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Half tank? Like
half tank. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got, I'm running on fumes. But, well, can you see maybe why people are having those conversations about St Kilda? Because that was the most glass half empty performance I've seen.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's not surprising.
Well, that's the thing. And that's why it's so frustrating is that... You see a lot of it online from our fans and whatnot, but we seem to be really accepting of mediocrity as a club. Mm-hmm. And to me, just coming out with the same messaging each week, saying, like you're saying off air, Jakey, we'll work hard on the track.
Not up to standard.
Not up to standard. It's just the same. But the end result is that you're not surprised.
Yeah.
It's what you come to expect.
Yeah.
Which is,
I want to hear harder comments from the boys, from the coaches, and say, you know, we're going to lay 80 tackles next week. Put it public. Make it a target.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on.
Because we're the most predictable team anyways.
What are the KPIs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
We've all got KPIs in our jobs.
Yeah.
Surely next Friday night is like, I'm not accepting anything less than 5 tackles each from all of you.
Yeah.
You know, you're all getting in. This is the last game of the year. We lose this, the year's done.
You remember back in 2009?
Yeah.
we rested a lot of players.
Against
Like Geelong
Hawthorn?
did
Yeah.
against Hawthorn. And
Is that Jack Stevens'
that was
debut?
Jack Stevens'
Yep.
debut, and he came out and kicked 3 goals. You know, these are blokes that want to play finals footy, so they're fighting to play finals footy. By half time, every single Saints listed player had a tackle. Every single 22 of them had a tackle.
Do you know how many we finished with that day?
No,
Over 120, I think.
Yeah.
that's a lot.
It was high hundreds.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
It was and I think even Hawthorn that day laid 85, 90. It was,
Yeah.
We just went up a level.
Yeah. And, you know, there's just nothing that says to me, like, we want to improve. You know, we're okay where we are. We're okay being a mediocre team and everything like that. And it's just disappointing year after year having to go through that same shit.
Yeah.
And I know people work really, really hard behind the scenes,
Yeah.
you know, and
We don't discount
we're just
that.
not, we don't discount that, but it's just, sometimes you got to know you're not doing the right work,
And
you know.
out of interest, I saw that Ernie Merrick was sitting in the coach's box, and that was mentioned in the presser that we know that he's been on board as Ratton's mentor since the start of the year, but his roles evolved to last Monday. Do we know what that is?
That's a very good... Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought that up because I remember posting about that in the preseason.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard his name mentioned since you just said it then.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, if he's doing a big job, if he's that important, as if we've not heard more from him.
Yeah.
Do all coaches get mentors, though, is
No.
what I'm asking? Or
They
is
don't.
that just a very modern thing? Because...
Do you think Craig McRae's
I
got one?
think struggling coaches do. The good ones, like, say, Chris Scott, you know, as much as that stings for me to say it, he is a good coach.
Yeah.
He is the mentor.
Yeah, that's right. Or they would have just their informal support systems that they would have someone to just talk, maybe his brother. I don't know, Lee Matthews. Who knows?
Or,
Who knows?
yeah, I was going to say, maybe you give Lee Matthews a call.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you give these former coaches a call and just say, hey, mate, got some issues here. Losing the boys a bit. What did you do at this stage in your career? Because every single coach goes through that.
And Rats couldn't call Clarko. Like, he
He's
he
an
couldn't
old
do
mate.
that.
Yeah, I know. And it just seems like we've got this unnecessary amount of staffing
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
what is meant to be a football club that wins games.
Like, could you imagine, like, a local football team having that amount of different staffing? Like, the messaging
Oh, it's been
coming...
fucking confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to remember, these boys aren't here to do uni courses. They're not here because they had good ATARs.
Yeah.
They're here to play fucking football.
Like, how many meetings you reckon... I'd love to know how many meetings during the week each line has. You know, with Rats analytics on top and how much footage they need to watch of the previous game and then...
That's the uncut
Like-
stuff you would like to get.
That's
Yeah,
I want to see
yeah.
a week in the life of...
Do you reckon we're getting one this week? An
Yeah,
uncut?
we'll get one this week.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it, but yeah, we'll get one.
Ah, Jakey boy, come on.
Alrighty.
If they
I'll watch
do,
last
I'd be
week's.
pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
I'd be keen
interested.
to watch it. Alrighty, boys. Well, we'll go to a bit of a break.
Yeah,
and
we
we'll
need a
cheer
break.
ourselves up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've got beers in hand. We need some banter.
Yeah.
We need
Let's
to
get some
converse,
bad.
and let's get that going with a bit of Jakey's junk mail.
Yeah.
Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail. Jakey's junk mail.
Scan on. Let's go.
Yeah, look, I know you boys wanted to get up and about, but
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry.
go.
It's just...
Oh, no, I was going to say, it's going to be some pretty sour junk mail, isn't it?
I love how every episode after a loss, Joyce is like, oh, we need to cheer up. We need to get some Jakey's junk
Junk
mail. And
mail.
then I'm like, yeah, this ain't going to do that for you, mate. I'm sorry.
Tassie looks good this time of year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This one's from Josh. He says, this one's a bit too long for the Insta stories, but here I go. It's actually not that long, so he's gone a bit overboard there.
Modest.
Yep. Hey guys, love the pod. Who do you think should be our main target in the off-season? I think the forward line needs some structure and we should go for McStay. Thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that, because we were chatting a little bit about that today when Jakey was having his breakdown. And
Mid St Kilda life crisis.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and you brought up Buddy Franklin and the argument
Franklin
of Franklin
and
The
Hogan.
Hulk stuff.
and Hogan. Yeah,
I'd love Hogan.
So, what's
Oh,
that?
don't get Joycey started.
Nah,
Yeah.
Hogan's he's no good.
He's on
He
the
is
board,
trouble.
mate.
Yeah.
He is trouble. He is absolute trouble. If you're going to bring someone in, bring a Daniel McStay because they are he's a good bloke. He's a
Yeah.
good bloke, and he goes about his business in a tough manner. He's very hard to put off. So, and he's a big bloke that knows he's big. So, I think McStay would be a great acquisition to be that next big man that comes in, because we can't forget, Paddy Ryder's on his last legs. He might go around for another year, but that means that Rowan Marshall's going to be in the middle a lot. And McStay is potentially one that can take some ruck work too. Hogan can't. That's not his thing. He's too slow. He does move well. I'll say that Hogan does move well and lead up the football, but off the ground, I think he's just too much trouble. Same vein as De Goey, just doesn't have the status. He got dumped from Melbourne. He got dumped from Freo for the same issues. Now he's at GWS, and if GWS don't want to keep him, then why would we want him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like McStay. I don't mind
Yeah.
that.
Collingwood
But
And he's a
go
Melbourne
hard,
boy
though.
too. He wants to come back home.
Yeah.
He was an Eastern Rangers footballer, so he played with one of my mates, and he said he is just an unreal footballer that just has never felt comfortable at Brisbane. So
Yeah.
he said he's ready to come home.
And if they're getting Buddy,
Yeah, exactly. They'll need to
They'll
get
need
rid
to
of
get
him.
rid
Oh,
of him
definitely need to get rid of him. Yeah,
but yeah, we'll be competing with Collingwood for McStay.
yeah.
Big
And
time.
I'm
They're going to
I'm
offer him
worried.
plenty.
Yeah, I was going to say they'll offer McStay a bit, but the issue is McStay will want a fucking premiership,
And he'll see the way they're playing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just standard St Kilda, isn't it?
Yeah, and
It's
and their forward line,
destination club.
he'll be like, I can be the big dog there.
Yeah,
because
he
he's
can slot
competing
in,
against
yeah.
Myercheck and Cox.
Yes,
And he's like, perfect.
yeah, and he's a workhorse too. So if you have Myercheck and Daniel McStay playing at centre half forward while Cox is deep, like he'll be going, fuck yeah, amazing.
The only player that I would like us to break the bank for, really go hard, is Taranto.
Yeah,
Everyone else, it's just like, a lot of risks. Mm-hmm. But Taranto, he's the one where you go, 2 first rounders, I'd do for him.
yeah, yeah.
This one's from Alexander. Hey lads, love the show.
Thank you.
Loved having Marshy Jr. on the show. Potentially full-time gig.
Yeah, very potentially.
He's waiting for the offer, I think. He's sitting by the phone, just
I
waiting
was
for the
just
call.
thinking, imagine having 2 Marshies in here. Like the episodes would go for 3 hours.
We'll do it at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe the final, for our 100th episode.
I was going to say it's
some
great
special guests.
because if one of us gets COVID,
he's straight in.
he's straight in.
That's
But
it.
if one of us
He's a
just
keen.
wakes up and like, you know what, I don't want to go into the studio today.
And
Yeah,
Dino,
Dino.
he really came in with he wants to do finals podcast footy.
Yeah, yeah.
He set the expectation, didn't he?
He wants to be selected. Yeah.
He did, and I'm listening. I'm like, fuck you, Dino. Now I have to really lift. I have to lift.
I've been a shoe-in all this time. And
Now, positions under.
Competition for spots. That's what we need.
Absolutely.
He says, I'm still trying to figure out what Max King's role is. It's a real head scratcher. Considering the amount of talent we all know he has, I just feel as if we aren't getting the best out of him. Not solely pointing the finger at King, but more so the instruction that gets given to Maxi. I also feel as if inside 50 efficiency has been poor all year, especially at times when it's crucial for scoreboard pressure. When you look at most of the teams, top teams, their efficiency are generally going 40% and above inside 50. Something is missing, lads, and I just see so much wasted footy and wasted scoreboard opportunities. What are your thoughts?
absolutely.
Absolutely,
I
we
was going
agree.
to say that's what we've been arguing about over the past 4 or 5 weeks.
6 years.
Is like, who's in King's ear and why is he telling him
To do what he
To
does?
do
to
what
stand
he
in
does,
a pocket?
And,
That's exactly right.
and one thing that's started to creep into his game a fair bit is, all right, we're bombing it in. It's 2-on-1, 3-on-1 sometimes, but once he realises, actually, I'm not going to be able to mark this, he's not even going up to put a fist on it.
Yeah.
Like that, it just seems like the opposition defenders are marking it way too easily.
Yeah.
And it's just like he just stops sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas early in the piece, if he's not marking it, the ball's coming down.
Yeah.
Even if he's up against a bit of adversity, but
Yeah.
that seems to have tapered off a little bit recently.
Yeah. Again, a bit too much attack and not a little, just not that defensive awareness. Kind
Yeah.
of same as our mids playing ahead of the footy.
Yeah.
This one's from Lucas. If we are to make finals, having Dogs and Tigers losing their last two, and we win at least one of our last two, whose spot do we take? Carlton, Tigers, or the Dogs? Also, is it wrong for me to still be optimistic, even though I know our season is more than likely done?
That's our biggest issue, isn't it? That
Relying
we're just
on-
so optimistic.
Yeah, and
But-
relying on other results outside of our bloody own.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Yeah. What?
It's weird because if you transport what's happening right now and put it back into 15, 16, 17, you're up and about. You're like, shit, yeah, we can still make it. Like, give us those scraps. We want the scraps. But now it's just like, what's the point?
Yeah. 'cause
What's
we've
the
had
point?
our rebuild.
We've had our rebuild and we just should not be. We called it earlier in the year. We just should not be in this position where begging to play finals.
Yeah.
We should be there on our own merit, but
We should be where Freo and Sydney are at.
yeah,
Having
Yeah.
some really top-notch performances, a couple of losses, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you're around that 6th and above.
Yeah. I was going to
area,
say
but we're
Sydney,
not
Sydney
even
for me
close.
are going to finish second.
They're
You reckon?
flying.
If they beat us, they'll finish second, and the top two will be who I said last week or the week before, Geelong and Sydney, and they'll play off in a grand final, and it's going to be a fucking ripper.
I reckon the Pies could finish second. They'll win their
Yeah.
last two. They're second right now, mate. They just need to win their last two.
Yeah, true. Who at the Bart? They're playing.
They're going to beat Carlton in the last game.
That's right. They're playing.
And this
Carlton in
week
the
they've
last game.
got... Who they got this week?
Sydney,
Nah, Collingwood.
Collingwood.
It's got to be a winnable game. They've had a few hard ones
Yeah.
in a row.
But I think Sydney's got a pretty easy run.
Oh, no,
especially
Collingwood's
us.
got Sydney this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I reckon this is the game for second spot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
gonna
a
be a
cracking
ripper.
game.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be so good.
It's going to be, Sunday 3:20. So
What
we'll
a
tune into
weird
that.
time to put in.
That's a
game like
that's a
that.
Thursday night game, that one.
Yeah, I guess Collingwood didn't win any games in the first part of the year, except for
Yep.
against us. But
Yep.
anyway, Carlton, if anyone's going to drop out,
Yeah, because
That'd be so juicy.
that would be juicy. That would be nice. But
they kind of look as cooked as us a little bit.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
they're
they
going to
do.
be missing Paddy Cripps for 2 weeks.
yeah.
So that
Yeah.
helps our cause.
Yeah.
But again, I hate having to watch other results and play the ladder predictor and
yeah.
that shit. Just like,
yeah, I feel bad for Paddy Cripps as well because he did it to lift the team,
Yeah.
But
Brownlow
it-
medal form. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and now he's done. So, yeah. Anyway,
But hey, if it gets us into finals.
that's exactly right. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah. This one's from Jake. Not me.
Oh,
boys.
Jackie!
I mean, Haley.
Jake Watson.
That's so funny because there is a bloke that does send in. I think he sent in a couple of messages before, and he is a Saints fan and does listen to the show. Jake Watson.
Really?
Oh no, it's Jack Walton. Damn it, got it wrong.
Close.
He's going to hate me for that.
Boys.
Yes.
Not sure if I'm the only one, but I love King, think he's great at the club and will build to be one of the best forwards in current times. But do you think we are depriving Membry in the square and could have King playing that pocket? Because we are just bombing the ball down there. I think he could learn more and Members could be the one to teach him. He has the size and the strength, which King is lacking. Keep up the good work. So I think he basically wants Membry to be
The top
the
dog.
man,
Yeah.
the top
man.
banana, as Marshy
We'd love
puts
that,
it.
but we're not. That means we'd have to send maybe Coops up as well,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't be mad about.
That's-
But yeah, if King's not kicking goals and he's playing full forward, then why have him at full forward? Put him up the ground. He's going to kick the same amount of goals. He's going to rest forward. So, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't mind that at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just it's a bit
It just-
it's
yeah.
a bit disappointing to have someone like Kingy who has all the talent in the world and we can't just say he's a lock for the full forward position.
Yeah.
Every week we're like he's half forward or he's in a pocket or he's up the ground. It's like if he's your gun forward,
yeah.
he's your gun forward. It's like talking about where Jack Steele should be playing every week. Should he be on a wing? Should he be at half forward? No. He's fucking ruck rover.
Yeah.
And he plays there every week.
Yeah.
Kingy should be the same in the forward line.
But the King boys aside, can you think of another forward, like young key forward, that's just come in day one and they're gone, you're the man?
Nah.
Probably not.
So, yeah, that...
I know what you mean. Like he's had the weight of the world
yeah.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's done a hard apprenticeship, but if it almost feels as though we've missed an opportunity by not doing what Jake's suggesting there, by having Membry take that heat, be the number one.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
And it shows you how
Kingy's-
much we rely on Membry too.
Yeah.
On the ground.
But do you think Kingy's mentally just like, I'm a bit tired of this, like having all this pressure? Do you reckon he thinks about that?
I reckon the whole team look that way, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, King especially, because he is the focal point. He doesn't look happy. His
cops
teammates are cracking the shits at him and he's just gone into self-preservation mode, going, I need to kick goals to sort of justify being the number one man.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you watch a bloke on the weekend who's playing his last game of AFL football ever, and he comes out and he kicks 8 goals too.
Kennedy.
Yep.
Yeah, superstar.
They were looking to Kennedy the way that we look to King. You know, it's like, get the ball to him. Get the ball to
Just
him.
feed
Get the
him.
ball to him. Just feed him, feed him, feed him, feed him. And he's like, oh, you know, credit to the boys, they were feeding me the whole time. It's like, yeah, but mate, you don't realise the work that you did on the field there says that you should play on for another 2 years.
Why can't we just call
Because
him
you're
up?
working hard. But he's working hard and he's coming back up the ball. He's going on these double back leads, and the midfielders are actually paying attention. And they're going, okay, well, we're going to hit Kennedy up on this one, but we've got to wait for him to see what he wants to do. So he's making the call to where I should put the ball. I don't feel like Kingy is.
No, Kingy's is...
Yeah. Like me, it's like, yeah, they're going to kick it to you, mate, but put them in a decent, like, get to a decent spot where they can reach you.
What that also does is you're literally telling the entire football field,
and your
it's
defender.
coming to me and your opposition.
Yeah.
This is where the ball is. This is where I am.
Yeah.
Flood.
Yeah. Yeah, spot
Best
on.
forwards don't need to even put their hand. It just
Yeah.
just that you see a little point. Hawkins does it really
I was
well.
going to say, we got a first-hand look at how
He
Hawkins and
hardly
Cameron...
points it where he needs it.
Yeah.
They put it in the space.
And I've got to say,
and they know
Duke
he's
stopped
strong
him
enough.
from kicking 8 against us.
Yeah.
He was on for a big night, Tom Hawkins, and then as soon as, like, we were talking about it in the first quarter, why the fuck is Dougal Howard playing behind Tom Hawkins?
Yeah.
You can't get around him. He's just going to protect the space and go into it. And then he started playing in front and barely got a look at it. And when he did, he made the most of it, but,
Yeah.
you know, so well done to Dukes for getting back on top of that.
Yep. This one's from Brandon. Hello, Jakey, Marshy, and Joycey. Fantastic
Hey.
podcast you fellas provide to the Saints faithful.
Thank you.
Thanks
That's
very much,
nice.
mate. My question is, given Webster's disappointing performance, and we didn't talk about him before on the weekend, and with Rats laying down the gauntlet players being on their last chances, for the 2 remaining games of the season, is it time to bring in someone like Connolly as his replacement? I think I vaguely mentioned that.
You did.
At the social,
Yeah, before you stopped remembering things.
I knew it.
I love how this is all off the back of 4 wines. That's
I had a
cute.
few sips of bloody beer, and I've never had beer in my life.
No,
really.
yeah, true. Probably sent you over. That's all right.
It was
We've all
probably
got
just the
different
loss,
ways.
to be honest.
You know
Like,
what? You know, he's the one that's fucking laughing because, you know, how... Oh, no, we won't talk about it, but we'd probably spend much more money on a night out than Jake would to have a good time. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah. Give me a few vinos and I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
that's... Yeah.
But we
But,
were, Webster on the weekend was
Webster-
really disappointing.
He
Okay,
was.
we didn't really talk about this in the first segment because we were just so baffled. But
Yeah.
there was a few players on the ground that we were just like, what? This is not AFL standard football.
Just slow
Yeah,
movement,
yeah,
taking his
exactly
time.
right.
Listening to you guys last week, I was a bit surprised a little bit about the commentary around Patton.
Yeah.
And I think it might have
Yeah.
been a junk mail thingo. But yeah, because I thought he was all right against the Hawks. But his game on Geelong, it was much like Webster, just slow, just shocking decisions. And
Yeah.
the skill execution was just really left you wanting.
How-
Yes.
It's hard to, like, if I'm trying to picture myself in their footy boots on the weekend, and you're like, if you're Jimmy Webster and you get the ball, and you look up the field, and we're talking about the lack of movement, the lack of leading, the lack of pointing.
Absolutely.
No shit that some of our defenders are just going to take too long with the footy and not know what's going
Yeah.
on. I
Yeah.
feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like our mids trying to kick it to our forwards. If there's
Yeah.
no movement, you're stuffing up that passage of play.
Yeah, spot on.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have the option for Webster and Pato.
Yeah.
Sometimes they did and they took too long.
Yeah.
But I think most of the time there's nothing on. They don't want to bomb it.
Yeah.
They'd rather
Yeah,
just hold
damned
the
if
ball.
you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, that's
But,
it.
I didn't watch any of the Sandy game. Did Connolly do okay there?
I don't know, but we just fell short.
Yeah.
2 points. I think Connolly had about 20, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose there's no harm in just giving him a go. But
Yeah, I was going to say that's in terms of like, I guess, taking care of your disposal efficiency coming out of the back line, which has not really been an issue until now. So you've got to assume that, okay, it was a rough week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Jimmy Webster, it was a rough week.
Yeah.
So he keeps his spot, but only because we're coming up against Brisbane. You know, you're not going to put Leo Connolly on Charlie Cameron or Lincoln McCarthy. You know that Webster will rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
So you can't let him go now. You've kind of got to give him that license that, yes, he's got the scalps. You know? And then, if he doesn't perform again...
Yeah, because I suppose essentially Leo Connolly, and there's not many at Sand. The only one that is banging the door down is Tom Campbell.
Yeah.
Bytel's got to be close too. You'd think he had 28 and a goal on the weekend with 6 tackles.
Yeah, that's cracking in for sure.
Yeah.
Tom Campbell, 28 disposals, 34 hitouts and 2 goals.
It's ridiculous. Against an AFL ruckman.
Tom Highmore, 22 disposals, 11 marks. Nasaya kicked 2 goals from 15, and Connolly had 15.
I'd love to... We didn't use Nasaya against Brisbane. I mean, we'll get into the Brisbane. We've got to wrap up Janky's Junk Mail. But
all right, let's continue.
Yeah, but he's a name I want to come back to.
Yeah. This one's from Michael. Hey, lads, as always, love the midweek therapy session. It saves my week.
Oh, ditto.
Saves our week.
Yeah.
Question for you. Did St Kilda re-sign Ratton on the back of being 100% on board with the game plan? Or did they re-sign Rats because they believe in the list and think we just need a bit more stability to get us to where we need to go? At Rats' very first presser, he flagged, and I remember this, that the skill level, decision-making and disposal efficiency at the club wasn't anywhere near good enough.
Spot on.
So we recruited a host of talent from other clubs to top up that list and challenge, that being Hill, Jones, Dukes, Mason Wood, Higgins, Butler, Hanbury. Rumour has it we're also in for Amon. And versus Geelong, Hill, 73%, always tries to create. Jones can't judge because he's been dropped for being a butcher. Dukes, 89% fine when he's kicking long. Crouch, 57%, 30 touches at 57% is stock standard Crouch. Wood, 65%, one of his best games, in truth.
I was going to say...
He had a cracking game.
Yeah.
Higgins, 50%, standard Higgins. Butler, 54%, has been 2 years of that now. Hanbury, 63%, tries hard. So... go back every round this year. These numbers are absolutely consistent, even when we're winning games.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your thoughts, as I'm incredibly frustrated by the mixed messaging, shocking skill level, and list management coming from the club.
Yeah.
So he's done his research there.
Yeah, well done. Great question. Well
that's
said.
really
These
good.
are thoughts that we all have, in this room every week.
And I love that he included, even when we win games, that's still the efficiency level.
Yeah,
Yes.
So it's no better.
It's no better. That's exactly right. And I was going to say, you can put a line through Hanbury. He's done.
he's
Where, after coming off halfway through the game, he's done. He's done.
I'm surprised the club even bothered to post that he's a test for Friday night. Did you see everyone in the comments? All the comments weren't about Hannah's. It's just to the media department of the club.
Yeah.
Like, read the room a little bit. Like, we're all upset about the loss. Hannah's has been a big issue.
The media room is just the feed from what the club wants you to say. So they're the middleman. They're the ones that just create the stickers. It's like, here's the content, put a sticker on it, off
Do
you
you
go.
know what they should have done instead? You read the same article.
Yeah.
It says DMAC is a test for Friday night, a big chance to play.
That is the biggest news of the
I was just going to
season.
say,
But
where's
post,
DMAC?
Post that, and then in the same article say
Yeah.
Hannah's is a test.
Yes.
Yeah. Unlikely.
Oh.
Don't go with Hannah's. as the
DMAC is the
promotion.
biggest in for this season that we've had other than Ryder.
100%.
Like-
we have missed him because the
He's
wheels
the
the wheels fell off when he got KO'd against Brisbane.
Against Brisbane.
Yep.
That was when
That's
the wheels
spot
fell
on.
off.
And not only that, but I was saying to Jakey on Saturday night, if Menegola's getting a run on, D-Mac's making sure he doesn't touch the fucking pill.
D-Mac's gobbling him up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he's taking him
Smashing
on in
Smith
the
too.
air, and
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
outrunning him. He's faster than him. So, geez, we miss a physical winger and D-Mac, we've missed him so much.
Yeah.
So much. So, yeah,
You're
to
about to-
hear that.
Sound like you're about to cry there. Honestly, it got me. I was worried there for a second.
I really miss D-Mac.
We all do. We all do,
miss
mate.
D-Mac, yeah.
Oh, I can...
Let's continue before you bawl your eyes out.
I will.
This is from Declan. Straight to the point. Should we debut Max Heath?
No, he's not,
Not
ready.
this year. Not
he's
ready.
not
now?
ready.
What
No.
if we lose on Friday night and the season's done? Do you play him against Sydney just for one game?
But if you bring him in just to give him a game, then,
At
Sends
the
it
end.
and he
message?
gets absolutely destroyed,
Oh.
then the fans will be like, A, he's shit, or
Yeah.
B, why would the club put him in that position?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
nah,
Yeah, fair call.
unfortunately, give Heater.
I think
Yeah.
Campbell deserves a run
Oh,
before
for sure.
Heath, don't you think?
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
This is from Luke. Maybe this is recency bias, but it feels like under Rats we've had countless times where we come out looking underprepared or generally not switched on. How can the senior coach continually not have the ability to rev his players up? Does this mean that there is a lack of belief in the coach's system by the players, or the lack of a system in general, or the lack of a total system? What we're lacking.
I've been thinking about this one. Dead set. We need this to be, because we've got a litany of roles within the club. We need a hype coach, to someone that, because one of our biggest problems is that we can't, like what that question just said, we can't rock up with intensity.
Yeah.
So we need a coach that's their KPIs. We want to pump up the boys.
Wasn't there an NFL coach that had there was footage of like an NFL coach I saw a couple of years ago, and he's basically got a guy keeping him in check, like running up to him and like high-fiving him, giving him like his own rev. But he's like the rev for just the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that footage? He's on the bench, like
yeah.
jumping up and down and
Absolutely. So we just need an energies coach where it's just on-field energies, your body language, all part and parcel. That could be their focus area, because rather than having bloody 4 assistants in the midfield line,
Yeah.
we get more energy.
shit. Yeah. And lastly, this is from Childish Stambino.
I like that.
Yip yip lads.
Yip,
What
yip.
are some easy fixes that we can do in the off season?
There's no easy fix.
Get a rev coach.
Get a
coach.
fucking rev coach. Get rid of the blokes that are there for a paycheck, not for the footy club.
Oh, yeah. big
And
time.
you can tell that there are definitely players there that are doing that.
Can that be a blunt discussion in their exit interviews this year? Can they please sit players down and go, like, be honest with me, are you here for a premiership or are you here just to play footy?
Paycheck, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know. Is that fair to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what does playing AFL mean to you? Because I looked at the list. We've got quite a few players out of contract, and there's
Yeah.
really only one that I'd be really disappointed if we lost, and that's Ben Long. I think
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
he's been unreal with his efforts,
Oh,
his
that'd
energies.
lose me. That'd lose me for next year.
Yeah, but the rest of them, there's quite a few, but yeah, if they leave, then yeah, they probably don't warrant another contract. But Benny Long, I'd be
Yeah.
annoyed.
No, he was great on the weekend.
Yeah.
Again,
He does some amazing
question
things
him.
where he just throws his body at the ball and taps it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To his mate's advantage.
That should almost become a disposal where if you tap it out
Yeah.
to advantage, that should count as a
Because
disposal.
he puts himself in such harm's way to do so, to
He
free
does.
up his mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is just the most selfless thing that you can do on a football field.
Yeah.
So,
And you'd think that would lift everyone.
oh,
For
you
sure.
think,
You know, the more he does it, the more DMAC does it.
Yep.
But that just doesn't happen.
No.
Nah.
No, there's no lift.
No.
Alrighty,
Well,
well,
there you go. That
Jakey's
was
junk
a
mail.
cheerful Jakey's junk mail. Thanks
Always
to
is.
everyone for sending those in.
Yeah,
as
Yeah,
always.
some good ones in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, some really good questions in there. Very good questions. Alrighty. Brizzy Lions. Friday night football. We love showing up on a Friday night, don't we?
Oh, have we won a Friday night? Oh,
we beat
Carlton.
Yeah.
That was it.
So, look, Brisbane. The biggest weakness for Brisbane at the moment is their drop-offs.
themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and their
Yeah.
defence. So, but our weakest attribute at the moment is our forward line. So it's going to be more or less the same, I think, as what we saw at the Gabba. in terms of effort, especially after a loss like that. But can we capitalise and can we score enough now?
That's the thing. Even when they're down, Brisbane are good for 13, 14 goals.
Yes, yeah.
Like, even when they're having a down game. How many
They
did
come
kick
out
on the
on
weekend?
fire. Their first halves of football have been absolutely... Fix it up, please. That's it.
my side,
their
isn't
first halves of football over the past few weeks have been unreal, and then they just drop off after half-time. So it's a matter of whether you can take advantage of that, because I was listening to the game on the radio against Carlton, and Carlton had these big, damaging run-ons of form, but just weren't able to do it in the defensive half to stop them, or to stop their gun midfielders.
I watched the game in full.
Yeah, well, there you go.
yesterday.
Yeah.
They did that in the start of the second.
Yeah.
They went nuts in the first 15 minutes. And
Yeah, it
then
was after
Brisbane
Cripsy
stabilised.
played the... Yeah.
And then they did it, obviously, most of the last quarter. But then Brisbane finished strong because they got
Yes.
within 15 and then they ended up winning by 33 in the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking at the worm here, and it does, does trickle back up. But, Brisbane got to, 58 points up.
57, yeah.
57 points up. Yeah. And then,
So they're
then
vulnerable.
Carlton got within,
15.
15, So, if our defence is in form like they have been, we've got a chance. We've got a big chance to take a big scalp and put ourselves back in the 8. And hopefully finish within finals. So you hope that'd be enough to pick up the boys. But I just don't know. This is going to be the absolute be-all and end-all of our game plan and whether we can actually get our forward line to function. Because Brisbane have got the most dysfunctional defence at the moment.
Yeah, they do.
Can we just play Helter Skelter? Can we just go nuts on Friday?
I'd love to.
Yeah, just give us
Like-
some 04, 05 footy.
Pagans, I mentioned it in the potty
did.
chat yesterday.
Yeah.
Watching Sydney and watching Brisbane,
Yeah.
the way they played was very similar. They
Pagans
pushed up very
panic.
high, but the second they turned the ball over, they push back harder. They always have the one player in the forward line on their own.
Yeah.
Sydney have a mix of Franklin and Papley
Yeah.
and Heaney, all good, in the air and at ground level. And then Brisbane run with Cameron, McCarthy, even Rayner.
Yeah.
Players
Rayner,
that they
yeah.
can kick long to if they need
Danaher.
to. Danaher.
Yeah.
But they're always
Hipwood.
always
McStay.
in space. They're
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
the one player in the 50.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time 2020 was the last time we really played like that.
Yeah.
And I, go back to your point about how last year we changed game plans, and it kind of felt like maybe that was a bit premature to change the game plan based on maybe we were just mentally not there last
Or
year.
change it that much.
that much.
Completely go against
Keep a little
yourself.
bit of it,
Yeah.
at least the attacking side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've taken the attacking side out, put in a defensive side, which works, and then we're like, we expect there to still be an attacking side when we haven't really planned for it this
Yeah.
year. We're going to get back to that.
Yeah.
I want to see an open
absolutely.
50.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
We need to go back to that sort of that Carlton game because we came in under sort of similar scrutiny, and I felt like that game we had a bit of our DNA there, just the pressure, but
Yeah.
and just clean off the back line
Yeah.
Yeah.
To targets.
to targets,
Yeah.
and that spurs Hill and Sinclair had massive games that night, and spurs others to look
I was
into
gonna say-
inboard.
The back line getting the ball in their hands is their job.
Yeah,
That's their job. It's not their job to look up the field and hit, a target
Yeah.
that's a 20% chance of taking the mark.
Yeah, they're not the creators, are
They're
they?
not the creators. The forwards are. The midfielders are. So
Yeah.
they need to be doing the hard work. The defenders have done their hard work in getting the ball.
That's it. If Wilkie...
They've gotten rid of their player. They've outmuscled their player. They've got the ball, and then they look up. They're like, "I've done my hard work. What are you guys doing?
yeah.
Where's my teammates?"
Well, that's right, and that's where sort of Hilly comes undone a little bit in terms of what fans expect of him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, all right, okay, and now we've kind of got to a point where, say, there are a few kicks that he misses that because it's Brad Hill, you should be hitting that. But he's probably run about 100 metres
Yeah.
on the fly to get that ball, and even still, the kick that he's trying to hit, he's manufacturing it. It's
Yes.
not.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not there.
born out of our player looking after him, leading to a smart position where it's a straightforward kick.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Saints footy, huh?
That's exactly right. I don't really have a lot to lean into, I guess, in terms of what we're going to expect on Friday night.
We don't know
but
what to expect.
We don't know
We'll
what
be
to
honest,
expect.
Sainers. It's one of those games, isn't it? We just got
That's
to
exactly
rock
right,
up.
but
and-
we'll be there. We'll be
course
there on
we'll be
Friday
there.
night.
Yep.
Yeah. So Marshy's going to be looking after the bub. Which
Yeah.
is
He'll be
cool.
home with
Yep.
the sound nice and quiet.
Yeah. Oh,
No
no.
commentary?
Like, she's really good. You can't phase the little ones with loud noises. She
Nah.
doesn't care.
Oh, really?
Nah,
Oh, she's
because
at that phase of
I had,
okay.
had a few cheeky sort of, not obviously, but yeah,
Not
I had some uncouth words for what I was watching. It was like, oh, you fucking bastard. Like, yeah, but yeah, no, she didn't care. She's like, yeah, shit. I've got a good minute. Just to quickly jump in.
No,
We need it.
I was
We
going to
need
say,
it.
this is going to wrap us up. This is going to wrap us
Yeah.
up good.
This is pretty funny. So I was having a couple of celebratory beers with a couple of good mates, and if you can cast your minds back early in the season, when I think it was during the bye round when we're sitting 8-3, and I was we were at a dinner party, and I was speaking to my mates saying, this year's different. Saints are on. They're like, Marshy, you say that every year. I'm like, no, it's different. So Cam, his name is, in the off season, he hasn't really got a team. His cousin was Nick Smith, who played for Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
So Cam, he's not really into his footy, but he just
Good for him.
he de facto went for Sydney, but now he doesn't anymore. So he lives out in Seddon. So he's gravitating towards going for the Doggies, just to say that he goes for a
Western.
team.
Yeah.
But in the off season, we'd had a bet, and I'm like, if Saints finish higher than the Doggies, you're a Sainer. And if not, then I just cook him a nice meal.
Yeah.
And he's a man of his word, Cam. So he is 100%, like, because we were talking yesterday about it, and I kind of semi forgot about it. And he told us, he's like, oh, Carlton, he was all over Carlton's percentage. He's like, they're only 6 points ahead on the percentage. Oh, what? Well, I don't even know that. So, because he really doesn't want to go for the Saints. He really doesn't want to go for him because he's committed.
Yeah.
And in the same breath, right? So we're at the Inkerman Hotel in St Kilda.
Yeah, classic.
And there was a lad walked past in a Saints polo and was given the old "At the Saints," nothing. Fair enough. And like Cam had a laugh about it. Then another fella came past, and I'm like, "Up the Saints," and nothing. So this all happened in the space of a minute. They weren't together, and so two people had this one fella, he came past, gave him the Up the Saints, nothing, and then he was coming back, and then the other one came and Up the Saints, nothing, and they'd walked past each other, and Jack was on the other side, and did they acknowledge each other? And nah. So Sainers, they're in and then Cam just looks at me, he's like, what's wrong with this club? Like, everyone's so flat at the minute. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. It was just something different that, I thought initially, because I gave him the Up the Sainers, I wasn't in colours, so they thought that could
Maybe
be
it was,
seen as like
a
a
joke.
baiting tool or a joke, But when they'd actually cross paths with another Sainer in gear, and not even the old, the solemn nod, nothing.
Okay, that's stiff.
We need an energy coach, Sainers.
Yeah, we do.
need an energy
coach.
For the boys and for the fans.
Absolutely.
Let's get Choco.
Let's get
Choco.
Choco.
Please.
Yeah, that's what we would get Choco in,
Yeah.
and we'd put him in charge of the fan engagement instead of sorting out the fucking football. That's what we would do. We'd get his
course.
roles mixed up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway,
Alrighty, Saints fans. Well, I feel like that was a pretty unique episode of
there was a bit of everything.
Yeah, that was
Saints TV.
that was lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. There were some definite highs and lows. The highs no more higher than Matilda. So
Absolutely.
welcome to the world. I hope you fit into your brand new jumper. I think that could turn into a bit of a 90 for her at the moment. But
It's a blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get it up in the pictures.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
He'll
fine.
be watching on Friday night, and he'll suddenly be in the bin, and she's probably just jumped in.
That's
Send
it.
us a
done.
photo of it in
Dad,
the
I'm done.
microwave.
Yeah. Membership just too far.
No cards. I can't put my phone in the microwave. It's too expensive. Alrighty, boys. Well, take care.
Yeah.
Brisbane
That's it.
Friday night. Jake, I'll be seeing you there, Marshy.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
sure you keep the volume down
Yeah, that's
on
it.
Friday night.
Just send them the juju.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed for the best Saints fans. So thanks again for tuning in. And thank you again to the Bentley Social for being our official sponsor. Had a great time on Saturday night. And we'll hopefully do a bit of a wrap up at the Bentley Social in a few weeks' time to wrap up the season. So
Or we play finals, who knows?
Or we play finals. That'd be
That'd be
fucking
ideal.
nice. But anyway, regardless, we'll have another event there. And
Absolutely.
can't wait to see you. So take care. Enjoy your week. And go Saints.
Out the
Saints.
Saints.
And I love the feeling, so does the family. Oh yeah. Saints food, Saints food, Saints food, Saints food,